Sometimes we do a gold standard. Sometimes we shoot for a rework, and sometimes we do a Mark II, as we did with the Hornet. So talk to me about...
No. Sometimes we do a Mark II. No, they...
So if we talk about the Aurora?
Too late now.
If we talk about the Aurora.
So this was revealed to me before this. So I did know about this, but I got things to say. I'll let them explain first.
So the Aurora interior... Oh man, I'm getting in trouble after this.
Go ahead, Mark. Let's do it.
Okay, so the Aurora...
This is actually a really big deal, by the way. I don't know. Who knows who they're looking at right now off the camera. They're like Ben is definitely looking at somebody like, is he busted? Yeah, it's actually a big deal for them to be making an Aurora Mark II.
So the Aurora is obviously getting the gold. It's not obviously, but people are now hearing the Aurora is getting the gold standard.
If you've been reading the monthly reports.
Yeah, we knew that.
Is it in the monthly report? Yep. Thank God I missed that. Okay, so the Aurora is getting the gold standard. So what that is, the interior still mostly works, but there's some tweaks needed to make it work with our gameplay loops. But we don't need to strip the entire interior back. It needs a place to put weapons. It needs a place so you can actually walk inside with storage boxes. It needs a fire extinguisher. We don't need to gut the entire ship. So that's why the Aurora is getting its gold standard. It doesn't need a full rework. And we don't want to change what the Aurora is, because the Aurora it's the Aurora. So that's when a Mark II might come along, because we do something bigger, better, different, something we're more interested and engaged in, something that allows it to be more than what it was, but is something new.
Don't give me this might stuff.
But why? But I don't understand why. Why don't they just make a new ship? Why do they have to make an Aurora Mark II? I've got so this is like a little bit of a gripe because of the way they've treated the whole Mark II thing. A little bit of a gripe because I think this is just feeding into the confusion they already created. It's actually not a big deal. This is gonna happen. I'm gonna be annoyed with it for like a day, and then we're gonna move on. But the original reason they made the Mark IIs, there was only one ever Mark I. That was the Zeus. The Zeus was the first ship RSI ever made, and it was I think the first ship to ever get into space or something, or I don't know. It did something specific. But this was the original Zeus. And so because this existed, they wanted to make a Mark II. And so they used the lore to say, this is the Zeus Mark II. It wasn't that they had a ship in the game and then they wanted to go and make something else that fit a different role, like they're saying now with the Aurora. This was lore. This was just the straight up, like the story that they were telling. And the other reason that there was a Mark II was also lore. Where the heck is that video? Wait, I know that's here somewhere. I pulled it up. Here we go. This is the Hornet. Listen to this explanation of why there's a Hornet Mark II, and then tell me there's no other reason. There's no other time they did a Mark II. So this whole explanation of why they're doing the Aurora, this is the first time they're putting that information out there. This idea that they realize that a ship should be something different than it was, and so they're making a new one. This is the first time they're actually doing it. It wasn't last year. It wasn't the Hornet. It wasn't the Zeus. These things were already spoken for. So this is a big piece of information they're putting out. And I think it's kind of giving them an okay, a little check off to start to go a little wild with like just remaking ships with the same name. I don't know why.
Hey guys.
This was,
not too long.
sorry, this is 2017, I believe. This might be 2016. Yeah, this is 2016.
Ago, I received the awesome task of creating the new Hornet F7A ship, which will be featured in Squadron 42. I recently got done with the modeling and texturing portion of the ship build, and I would like to show you guys the process on how we created the all-new Hornet F7A. The original Hornet F7A Mk2 was created by CGBot, and it was used in the first pitch video by Chris Roberts. The F7A is going to be featured in Squadron 42, so naturally we were looking to do a complete update for the Hornet, since the mesh being used in the game as of now is still essentially the old CGBot model from 4 years ago. The idea here was to keep the original Hornet F7 Mk1 series in the game, and then add the F7A Mk2 model modeled completely new from the ground up with our latest techniques and pipeline procedures. Chris thought it would be cool to have the classic Hornet and the new version run side by side, and players would have the opportunity to keep the old Mk1 as a classic collector's item. We were also going to revisit the Mk1 one last time with an update on materials and damage systems to have it mesh better with our current assets. While we wanted an updated and new Hornet, we still wanted to keep the essence of the Hornet line of spaceships, rugged and relatively simple, yet very effective.
So, like, it is what was originally planned for the Hornet, and that's all fine and well. I just think it's definitely a change. And again, I'm not saying that's gonna, like, this, I think people will will see me have a little moment about it and think that I'm trying to, like, start a big drama or crash the company. No, I just think I want to draw attention to the fact that this is a change right now. It's not like this was a thing before and they're just adding on to it. This is a new understanding of how they're going to start building out more ships, and the Aurora might be the first one. You could call the Mantis a Mark II maybe, or the Asgard a Mark II, but they weren't actually calling them Mark IIs at that point. The Aurora Mark II is the first real one, and I wonder what they're gonna do with it, how they're gonna go about it. I get them wanting to protect older backers from their ships being changed, but where's our 300i Mark I? Where's our Cutlass Mark I? Like, they did change some of these ships quite a bit, but they decided not to do that practice with those, but they're doing it with the Aurora. And at the same time, I still just don't understand why the Aurora is getting itself a gold standard, so Aurora owners will get their Aurora. That's upgraded. This other ship they're talking about, why is it just not a different ship is the weird part to me, but it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things. I just think it's important to note.
And they already saw my reaction. An Aurora Mark II is coming.
Yeah, the Aurora Mark II is the thing. I'm not going to go into details about it, but it allows us to take the DNA of what a Mark I is and then expand upon it, make it something different, make it its next generation of itself.
Yeah. If you look at it compared to the Hornets.
Just looked at the chat.
Yeah, it definitely means, like, before this, I was like, guys, there's not going to be Mark IIs of all these ships. You probably remember me saying it. I sat here like an asshole, and I was like, yeah, it is. It's not going to be, there's not more Mark II ships, guys. You're talking about things that they're not actually doing, but now they're doing it. So, Connie Mark II, Saber Mark II, all these things could have Mark IIs. Who knows what they're going to do with them.
The Hornet Mark II and the Mark I side by side, you can tell they are both Anvil Hornets, even though they are stylistically very different. They're the same role, they're the same rough shape, and that's what we want to do with the Mark I Auroras and the Mark II. That you look at it and go, that's an Aurora. It does the same roles, but it's new RSI style.
So, why make an Aurora Mark II? That's from the chat.
Primarily, a big visual upgrade compared to the Mark Is, but there are so many Mark Is out in people's accounts. Like, it's one of the most iconic Star Citizen ships. We don't want to just suddenly one day, poof, they all disappear, and you've all got this new other ship that you perhaps didn't want 10 years ago. So it's the same with the Mark I Hornets. We didn't get rid of them and replace everybody's with Mark IIs. We want
collectors
both can coexist, and yeah, like I say, as collector's editions for, I was here back when the Mark I was a thing.
Yeah, and as one of our kind of like iconic starships, you kind of want, it's getting its gold standard to bring it up to what we want that experience to be. And then the Mark II gives us an opportunity to update its visuals to a point that it, like I say, it's kind of like the new generation of RSI. So it gives us the options to do kind of both the making the originals function and play how
it's going to have to be a split wing Aurora.
Doing a kind of a full visual overhaul as well. And there'll be people out there that will be like, don't like it, I want to keep Mark I. And there'll be people out there that will be like, Mark I's not for me, I love the Mark II. And that's a good thing.
I can say this, I will guarantee to like the Mark II more because I do not like the original Aurora. I think it's super ugly.
So I'm going to say something, and I don't want you to react one way or the other.
Then just don't put the camera on that.
But with the opportunity, there's been a fan idea out there for as long as I've been here, well over a decade, for what an update to the Aurora.
Wait. So just reading chat, do you guys think that they're going to stop selling the Mark I Aurora? Like that's kind of what you're getting from what they're saying? They're just going to, they're basically discontinuing a ship, but finding a way to not discontinue it, and they'll just stop selling the original. This is their way of making sure the Aurora matches the Cutter and the like the other newer starter ships. And I guess that means that we were going to lose the $45 start price for the Aurora. I wonder if they'll do the same thing with the Mustang then. Like, is this their way of eliminating the $45 starter price? You just eliminate the $45 starter ships and sell their Mark IIs as the new starter ship, a little bit more expensive? This feels like they buffed what a starter ship is, and now they're trying to get the Aurora to be back in line with that. Mustang's next. Down with the Mustang!
And I just want to know.
You think the price
have
will
you
be similar?
seen it, and are
You think it'll be $45 still?
you considering it?
Well, adding ramps instead of stairs.
It is cool to have the Mark I Aurora.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's pretty cool.
Absolutely considering ramps instead of stairs. Don't worry.
Okay. All right. We'll leave it at that. We'll leave it at that. And we'll go ahead and confirm that's coming in 2026, because why not? It's on the 2026 schedule. First half.
Enough.
There's nobody left to get angry at me.
They'll sell all the Mark I's later. The vintage sale.
Oh.